Hello YouTube, this is Dr. Ronald W. Satz, founder and chair of the International Society of Unified Science and president of TransPower Corporation, a commercial and custom software manufacturing and certified systems engineering. I work as a systems and mechanical engineer and as a theoretical physicist. Today, as with most of my screencasts, I'll be discussing the reciprocal system of theory and how it compares to conventional theory. Two topics today: end-stage quasar, what's that all about? And also, globular clusters as hosts for inhabited planets. Really? So as we like to do, let's go over to Science Daily for the research news. It says here, quoting, "Extreme turbulence roiling most luminous galaxy in the universe." This is from the National Radio Astronomy Observatory. Summary: the most luminous galaxy in the universe, a so-called obscured quasar, 12.4 billion light-years away, is so violently turbulent that it may eventually jettison its entire supply of star-forming gas, according to new observations with ALMA. And here's a picture of the artist's impression of W2246-0526, a galaxy glowing in infrared light as intensely as 350 trillion suns. It is so violently turbulent that it may eventually jettison its entire supply of star-forming gas. So, and by the way, ALMA is this Atacama large millimeter submillimeter array. And we'll just scroll down here and see if there's anything else that's interesting. The astronomers used ALMA to precisely map the motion of ionized carbon atoms throughout the entire galaxy. These atoms, which are tracers for interstellar gas, naturally emit infrared light, which becomes shifted to millimeter wavelengths as it travels the vast cosmic distances to Earth due to the expansion of the universe. And let's see, scrolling down here. Astronomers believe that this turbulence is primarily due to the fact that the region around the black hole, really, is at least 100 times more luminous than the rest of the galaxy combined. See, my opponents love to use black holes to explain everything. And then quoting from this one astronomer, it says here, "If this pattern continues, it's possible that the future W2246 ends up shedding a large part of the gas and dust it contains," concludes Manuel Aravena, also from the Universidad Diego Portales. All right, let's go back. Still loading here. I think these advertisements on WordPress are messing things up. Let's see. Right? No, we're back to that. That is incorrect. So let's go to January 2016. Alright, we're back. This quasar is in the process of discombobulating according to the reciprocal system of theory. Its matter is being ejected to speeds which will eventually carry the atoms to the cosmic sector, which is the other half of the universe. The other half of the universe is localized in time rather than in space. That means that the three dimensions of time stand out and just the one-dimensional clock space stand out. Whereas in our half of the universe, the three dimensions of space stand out, and time we feel as one dimension. So therefore, this observation completely is in accord with the reciprocal system. This quasar is discombobulating. It's going to disappear from our sector. Now, if you want the simplest possible treatment of the reciprocal system, please get my work, The Unmysterious Universe. But before I go through that, my normal spiel, let's go to the second topic. We've got time today. So let's go here. Globular clusters as hosts for inhabited planets. Now, it's very unfortunate that my opponents in theoretical physics are looking in the wrong places. Now, this comes from the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics. Globular star clusters are extraordinary in almost every way. I'm reading from the summary. They're densely packed, holding 1 million stars in a ball, only about 100 light-years across on average. They're old, dating back almost to the birth of the Milky Way. Really? And according to new research, they could also be extraordinarily good places to look for spacefaring civilizations. Well, that's absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. So if we look here, globular star clusters like this one, 47 Canet, might be excellent places to search for interstellar civilizations. Their crowded nature means intelligent life at our stage of technological advancement could send probes to the nearest stars. Again, that's really garbage. Let's see if there's anything else in here. However, a star's habitable zone, the distance at which a planet would be warm enough for liquid water, varies depending on the star. While brighter stars have more distant habitable zones, planets orbiting dimmer stars would have to huddle much closer. Brighter stars also have shorter lives. That's nonsense. And since globular clusters are old, these stars have died out. Let's see, this whole thing is upside down. Alright, let's go back. And that time it worked. Okay, so actually, globular clusters are young, not old. The conventional theory is dead wrong. The search for extraterrestrial life should be focused on stars and planets in our galaxy inward from us toward the nucleus. Now I'm going to give you a long quote from Drew B. Larson's work, The Universe of Motion, page 102. Quote, in today's science fiction where life in other worlds is a favorite motif, the habitations of the alien civilizations are identified with familiar names for reasons that are understandable. The thrilling action that the authors of these works describe takes place on planets that circle Sirius, or Arcturus, or some other well-known stars. But, according to our findings, few, if any, of these familiar stars are capable of having a habitable planet in orbit, and are also old enough to have developed complex forms of life. Sirius, for instance, has a white dwarf companion, that's Sirius B, instead of a planetary system. Arcturus is a young Class C star. The astronomers do not make the mistake of identifying the environments of these stars as the abode of life, but they avoid it by making a different mistake. In selecting the target of their first systematic attempt at interplanetary communication, back in 1974, they were misled by their current view of the evolutionary direction of the stars. This initial effort was directed at the globular cluster M13, on the assumption that it is a very old structure in which the processes that lead to life have had ample time in which to operate. We now find that the globular clusters are relatively young structures which, aside from a few stray stars that have been picked up from the environment, are composed entirely of Class 1 stars. These cluster stars have not been through the explosion process and therefore have no planetary companions at all. So study the reciprocal system for yourself. And as I previously mentioned, the simplest possible treatment is still my work, The Unmysterious Universe, published in 1971, contains all the concepts, numerous diagrams, very little in the way of mathematics. But if you do want all the mathematics, I have Existence and Interactions, a computational treatise of the reciprocal system, the true theory of everything. 1,711 pages in the PDF file, and 1,711 slides in the PowerPoint file. You can use the PDF file to search, you can use the PowerPoint file to lecture or to read. These two files contain thousands and thousands of equations, numerous diagrams, tables, everything you could ever want from a physical theory. It'll keep you busy for months. Now once you complete that, you'll be able to understand and utilize my two database modules, the Reciprocal System Microcosmos database and the Reciprocal System Macrocosmos database. The Reciprocal System Microcosmos database covers all of the properties of photons, subatoms, atoms, compounds, and alloys. The Reciprocal System Macrocosmos database covers all the properties in the astronomical realm, such as the universe as a whole, galaxy clusters, galaxies, star clusters, stars, planets, moons, minor bodies like asteroids and comets, nebulae, and voids. Very comprehensive. These two database modules make it very easy to apply the reciprocal system theory. All the work is available from Amazon.com and transpowercorp.com. We provide free support to all customers in good standing. So any questions you have on the reciprocal system, don't worry, we will answer them completely free of charge. So again, please study the reciprocal system, prove it for yourself, and thanks for your attention.